guys! Continuing our discussion on loops, let's learn about the types of loops. There are two types of loops: counting loops and conditional loops. Counting loops repeat the instructions based on count. Like, you should chew your food 32 times. So, you swallow it after chewing 32 times. On the other hand, we have conditional loops, which repeat the instructions based on condition. For example, you should keep moving forward until you reach the flag. Now, let's see what loops do we have in the IDE and how we can use them. We have 4 loop blocks in the loop category. Let's talk about each of them one by one. This repeat block allows you to put a number here so that the instructions you put inside this do part get executed that many times. It's okay. Let's understand it by implementation. For example, if you get a punishment to write sorry 100 times, then you will use this block. You will set 100 here because you want the work to be repeated 100 times. And what's the work? Yes, writing sorry. So, you will write it once in this loop and press the run button. So, it has printed sorry 100 times. But how will you know it has printed sorry exactly 100 times? So, for that, let's create a variable and set its starting value to 0. Now, when you are inside this loop, let's increase this variable's value by 1 and also print it. See, it has written sorry exactly 100 times in just a click. Isn't it fast and cool? This was easy. Now let's move on to the next block. Let's first understand this count with block and then we will see this repeat while block. This block is also based on count, like the repeat times block we just saw. The only difference is we can set the starting value and the jump size in this block. Put the value from where you want to start the count here, put the end value here and the jump size here. Let's try something using this block. Set the start value to 50, end value to 100 and jump size to 12. And let's print the j variable value inside this loop. And press run. So, our counter j has a starting value of 50 when it goes inside the loop for the first time. Then it increases by 12, so it becomes 62. And then it is also printed. And the same cycle continues till it reaches a value equal to or less than the ending value. You might be wondering, we put the end as 100, but the last j value printed on the output screen is 98. Why so? It is because after printing 98, j value again goes up to the loop, takes a jump of 12 and thus becomes 110. 110 is greater than 100. So, since the mark of 100 is crossed, the statement inside the do part do not get executed and therefore 98 is the last printed value and not 110. Now moving on, let's see this repeat while block. This block has two options, while and until. While loop will repeat the code inside it while a certain condition that you set is true. Until loop will repeat the code inside it until a certain condition that you set is true. I know that's a bit confusing, but this confusion will not stay for long. Let's create a variable and set it to 0. Let's put a condition for this loop block. Let's say j equals 5. Also, let's write a print statement so that we can trace the path being followed by the loop. Also, we need to change the j value so that at some point the loop condition becomes false and we get out of the loop. Remember that the loop will become an infinite loop if there is no case when the condition becomes false. Let's also add a print statement outside the loop, which would mark the ending of the loop when we run it. Now let's run this. Okay, so according to the output, the loop condition was not true and thus it was not executed. Let's understand it now. The value of this variable was set to 0. The computer checks the condition. It says while j is 5, it should execute the do part. But j was 0 and because it was not equals to 5, the condition was not true and the computer did not enter the loop and thus the print statement inside the loop did not get executed. The loop ended and the outside print statement got executed. Now, to see how while is different from until, let's change the loop to until. And now, let's run the code. This time, the loop was executed. Let's understand why this happened. Starting from here, the value of the variable was set to 0. Then, the computer reads that it has to repeat the do part until j becomes equals to 5. So, the do part gets executed 5 times and when j becomes equal to 5, the loop ends. While and until are English words and they mean the same in programming too. So, I hope that now you have a good idea of how loops work. There is one more block in loops category, but we will see that later. So, keep watching.